Hey traders! Welcome back. Market update time. Let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Hey traders, I've just recorded the video showing you the most powerful chart reading technique that has worked ever since the market started. As you know, but learning how to read the charts is very important to your trading success. So click on the box above that says PT method to get access now. Alright, hey traders, welcome back to another edition of market update time. I've had a good time off, guys, and yeah, I'm looking forward to a great 2017. Hope you guys are as well. Let's kick and let's rock and let's rollin'. Moving forward, let's have a look at the Dow Jones first. I want to share with you what I see on the Dow Jones, and let's actually just move forward and I'll share with you what I see overall. Let's actually have a look at the weekly chart first. This is the overall weekly chart, and if basically on the weekly chart, guys, what I see is that because we've had this nice run to the high side, is I still am expecting a pullback soon, like a nice decent pullback. But the way that these bull markets go, you just don't know when that's going to happen. So yeah, I've been watching this for the last basically week or so. But the one thing I've been interested in, have been watching, has been the daily chart for me. Now, the daily chart, this is the top daily chart up the top here. And if I just open this right up, one thing you'll be able to see is the next move of what's happening on the Dow Jones, the S&P and stuff like that. The next move for me is going to tell me the direction. So what I mean by that is this, is that the markets ran up, we had this low here, and we had this low here. And you can see that the market ran up, made a bit of a double top, come back down, ran back up. Here's the thing, is that if we open and run back up and close back above here, then we're likely to race back up, and we're likely to hit the 20,000. That's the first scenario. Scenario number two is where we actually open tomorrow and we actually run down and we create a nice down day. If that happens, then now we got this lower peak and lower peak. So now we've actually had, if you have a look at that, you have this lower peak, and a lower peak. It's now rolling over. So that's the thing I'm looking out for. I'm not saying this market's going to go down or it's going to go up. The market's just been going sideways. This thing could take off. But the next strong, solid move is where the market is likely to go to. And if I bring up if I just bring up this chart here, the reason why I'm saying that there, guys, is because you can see, again, we've got to watch this and watch it really, really careful, because you can see how, if I let me bring up my pen, bring up that, you can see how, guys, that we've actually had this run up, little run down, run up, and then a drop down, and now we've had this run back up as well too. It's like, is this going to be a lower peak before we actually drop off? Now, if it is a lower peak on the overall markets, and you can see here, and again, guys, sometimes if you squeeze your chart up, I can see this so much more clearer by looking at it like this here. And I know it's very, very hard for you guys to see, but by looking at my charts now, I can see, hang on a minute, if we roll over here, and you can see here, we're getting we had this big run up, had this sort of a shoulder, double top. If this is a down bar through here, easy tiger. Okay, if that happens again, all right, I'm pressing the wrong buttons, aren't I? If we get a nice down candle or nice down bar, this is going to be a lower peak, and especially if it closes below the low of this last trough through here, guys, that to me is going to start a nice down move, probably back down to the 19,000 or maybe a bit lower. I'm not calling for a crash. I'm not calling for an overall bear market. I'm just calling for a nice pullback. So, but the overall pullback, once again, guys, the overall pullback, it's like, again, I've got to go back to this chart here. What's the next bar is going to tell me what's likely to happen. Okay, so if I bring up a line, you can see here that this line, this overall, basically this support and resistance level through here, which is basically you can see it's resisting here. So, and plus we've got this overall support and resistance level basically here right now where it's basically supporting it. So the next directional bar is going to tell me where it's going to go. If we get a nice strong directional move up, maybe tonight, then guess what? That's going to be the direction. That's going to be the direction where it goes. If it's a nice bar up, and we have a nice strong bar close high, then that's the direction it's going to be for at least a couple of days. If we get a down bar, and especially we close below this low here, this 2 days ago here, which is around the 19,750. If we do get that, then that's going to be the start of some significant selling. Significant selling, guys, could mean just to drop back down towards this 19,000, which is this blue line. And as you can see, every time we've gotten to this blue line, bam, resistance, almost resistance through there. We broke back above. So it might just be breaking down. If it does that, it might just break down on the 19,000 and then maybe shoot back up. I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing on the overall directional move. Let's go have a look at the S&P 500. And a very similar thing that I'm seeing on the S&P 500. Again, we are starting to slowly step down on the S&P 500 on the daily chart. So what I mean by that is this, is that if you have a look at this, if you can see, we're actually starting to slowly step down through there. So this is the overall slowly stepping down movement, and we have just created a lower trough. Now, are we likely to form a lower peak here? This is the key for me, guys. Okay, we've had this step up, and let me actually walk you through this here. So we've had this step up here. Look at this here, guys. Let me bring up just the blue there. So we had this resistance here. Let me bring up something a bit smaller there. So we had the resistance there. We had the trough through there. Okay, so we had this trough, peak, and this trough down here. Ran up, made a peak, came down, made a trough. Ran up, made a high peak, came down, made a high trough. Made a little peak, made a little trough, made a little peak, and then bam, dropped down to make this lower trough. So guys, if this rolls over tonight, and we do get again a down bar, a down candle, guess what that's going to create? And you're starting to see a bit more weakness in this market already by looking at this S&P 500. As you can see, the market actually ran up. Is this going to be a lower peak? If it is a lower peak, well, that's when you can expect, a nice significant drop during the rest of this week. So, and maybe it is, as you can see, maybe it is only to this 52 simple moving average that I got there. Maybe it is only to that there, and that's it. Makes sense, guys? So you can see that right now we are in a bearish mode. Okay, we are overall stepping up, yes. But unless we can break above this basically this trend line here, or this latest peak here, then the sellers are starting to slowly come in control. We're actually getting more weakness now than strength. And once again, why I say that is if you look at this here, this was the trough, this was the peak, this was a high trough, this was an equal peak, this is a lower trough. If this is a lower peak, again, guys, the market will come down and we'll start to see some strong selling coming into the markets. But again, that doesn't mean anything unless we actually start breaking above there. So if we break above this 2,270, then we're likely to continue up, moving through there. Let's go have a look at the Nasdaq. What's the Nasdaq saying? Looking at the Nasdaq. Oh, there we go. So the Nasdaq is doing a very, very similar thing. What has it been doing? And again, guys, look at the flow of the market. We had this sort of sideways period through here. Had this this was the last trough. This was the last peak. This is the last trough. We actually ran up a little bit. Do we actually hold here? Because you can see here on the Nasdaq, they're actually getting a lot of resistance and support through here. So this is the support through here, and the resistance through there. And we want to make sure that that we can see a nice drop going down through there as well. So resistance, support, resistance. Is this going to be a lower peak and we hold here? If it is, then we're likely to see some strong selling coming into the market moving forward through the rest of this week. The market is showing a little bit more weakness now, and that's what I am seeing. overall. Let's go to a 6 month. Look on the S&P, you can see how we're starting to roll over. Is this a lower peak? If it is, we're likely to drop down. Same thing through here on the Dow Jones as well too. So that's what I'm looking at there. The QQQ is right there on the triangle pattern. The VIX actually had just a strong pullback here today. Pretty much nothing on the VIX. Pretty much nothing on the transportation average. We just got like a big run up and a big run down. Not sure what to make of that yet. Same thing for the Russell 3000. Russell 3000 was starting to slowly step down on the short-term time frame. Again, if I say look at the 3 months, you can see how it's slowly starting to step down. And again, guys, if we have a down bar tonight, that's going to be what? It's going to be a lower peak, lower peak, lower peak. We're actually starting to get lower peaks, lower peaks, lower peaks. You can see the sellers are starting to come in control. Now, it doesn't mean that, again, it doesn't mean the market's going to continue going down. But if we watch this and we say, okay, what's going to happen here? The next move for me, again, guys, is the move that I'm looking for. Do we get a break up or do we get a break down? And the one that I'm in right now, which I am still short on this one right now, and I've got about probably 2 weeks left of this option. Someone said on my video, John, what about IWM? IWM, I can't believe IWM. You're still short on that. I was still short. I think I went short back here somewhere. So pretty much nothing going on this Russell 3000, but I am still short on this one. And I have a couple % of my account on this one here. So let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks, okay? And by the way, that same guy said, John, you're short IWM. He said, John, you're also short Tesla as well too. TS. Tesla. I am. I have been short Tesla. And you can see Tesla's actually going some strength here on the short term. But if the guy that was saying, oh John, you don't understand, you're short Tesla, blah blah blah. I've been short Tesla ever since back here. And if I bring up the monthly chart, let me bring up this monthly chart. You guys would remember, right? I'm actually still short basically from the close of this bar here. So I've been short basically since 240. So I'm still in some profit shorting Tesla. But this thing could go off and could put me into lost territory. I don't know. But for the guy, and you know who you are, saying John, IWM and Tesla and all this sort of stuff, I'm actually in profit still with Tesla and IWM. I'm in a loss there, I must admit. So, but that's okay. That's okay. So that's what we see through there, guys. Let's go have a look at the good old gold and silver. Gold and silver, gold and silver. So let me actually just bring up this chart here and let me show you what I see with gold and silver. Now, gold and silver to me, it looks like that it may be starting to find a bottom. Do we actually get a nice close below here? Is this a nice close below here? And do we keep closing above? If we get this nice strong close above here, guys, then this is going to be a nice short bottoming pattern, I believe, and we can start to see rally back up out there. For you guys that watched me last year, you'll know what I'm talking about. Looking onto gold as well too, looks like gold is starting to hold up a little bit as well too. So again, I am expecting some movement into gold and silver, and that's going inside with what I'm seeing on the S&P and the Dow Jones as well too. So really interesting times. Really interesting times. So if I go and have a look at things like the HUI, which is obviously the gold bug index, this is already starting to turn bullish. We already got a close below this trough through here, a close back above there, and you can see, guys, every time it didn't, it broke past support, hit resistance, broke past support, and then just came support, and now you can see a little false breakout and a rally back up. Looks like that's actually starting to change trend. And if I show you the HUI, look what's happening with the HUI as well too. Looks like we're starting to slowly form a bottoming pattern there. But again, guys, what we need to look out for with this bottoming pattern is we want to start to see. Let me actually just turn this off here. What you want to see here on the HUI is what I'm looking for is you want to see this thing start to really close back above. Basically you want a nice close back above this 84 to show that there. Now, if you have a look at this market here, guys, and what's happening right now, what do we have here? All right, what do we have here? We have this peak, we have this lower peak, bit of an equal peak, another lower peak, another lower peak. This is now an equal peak. We had this basically trough, lower trough, lower trough, lower trough, and now it's running back up again. So as you can see, guys, that this market here looks like that if it does hold through and we start to break back above, especially back above this peak here, if we do make a higher peak, then we're likely to run down, make a little higher trough, and then we're likely to start taking off. This is the same for the GDX as well too. GDX is starting to look more bullish than it has in the last 6 months. Now, how can I say that? Well, let me take you through this. As you can see, the market came down, made this trough, which was support, right? Support came down. Once it broke support, resistance, resistance. This was now we have, what is this here? Support, support. The market broke back down. Market broke back down, tested it as resistance, and came back down. Ran back up. What do we have here now? What is this here? This is now. This here is now. This was now support, support. So we should expect what? Same here, right? We have support becomes resistance. Support becomes resistance. This is the same thing through here. Support, didn't actually get to it, came back down, found support, support, broke past support through here, went sideways and broke back above it. So now we should theoretically come down, test this as support and break back up. So looking at the GDX, this is now showing a reversal. The GDX, the gold miners ETF, is showing a reversal is happening right now based on we're seeing this now, we're now seeing this higher peak. If we do, and what I'm looking for confirmation is if we do get like a little breakdown, we get like a little breakdown towards this sort of maybe 20 level, we hold that, and then guess what? And then we start to rally back up and we break above this peak here. Now we're breaking above the 52 moving average as well too. As you can see, now the trend is changing. We're changing trends, especially on the short term. And my long-term charts are saying that as well. So that's what I'm looking at through there. Let's go have a look at oil. Oil got hammered just recently. Where are we here? So oil, as you can see, the market ran up and oil started having a nice close below. So lots and lots of selling into oil. Same for UNG as well too. UNG, this is the one that I'm actually in, and this is a little something really weird happened. So I was actually bullish, as you guys know. I was actually bullish here. The market ran up, made a new peak, and then that thing just dropped down through there. So that's okay, guys. I've still got about 4 months worth of time on my option. So we'll see whether this gap is going to get filled and whether we do continue up through there. So I do believe the gap is going to be filled over the next few months. So we'll just see what happens with that. I did buy a call option on this day here, risking, I think it was 1 or 2% of my account. I think it was 1% of my account. So we will see about that. Let's go have a quick look at some... let's go have a quick look at... You know what? Let's have a quick look at some stocks. Let's look at AG. So First Majestic. What is First Majestic doing? The thing I'm looking for at First Majestic is the market has dropped down, support, broke back down, come back down. Is this whole level here a support and resistance, or are we going to start changing back above again? As you can see, guys, is that we have this support on First Majestic, and then there's now resistance. If this doesn't hold and drop back down, but we do break above and we get back above, say, to $10 and even rally back above up to $11, that to me is a game changer. And any dip that happens after that, I'll be buying into, because I believe we're likely to start racing back up to $19. And actually, me buying into it means I'm going to buy way out of the money options on this. So I'm looking at with that one there, guys. A few other stocks, a few other big name stocks, say such as Facebook. What's happening with Facebook overall, guys? Let me just delete this off here. Lots of lines on this chart, as you can see. We do have a long term, a very Mark Cuban actually bought back here. I was actually monitoring it at that time. That was actually last year. I can't believe it was last year when that happened. And now you can see we're actually in this big overall uptrend through here. And you can see we actually have this gap through here, but we're starting to. You can see, guys. You can see by following these peaks and troughs, right? So you have this peak, then we have this trough, we have a lower peak, we have an equal trough, we have an equal peak, we have a slight maybe high trough. Who's in control? Who's in control right now? No one, right? No one's in control. Why is no one in control? Because now we're getting like a triangle pattern through here. Which one's going to break out? Do we break to the downside and make this a lower trough? If so, we're likely to start hanging into a downtrend. Do we break back above and get back above this 50 and now start to create a higher peak? If so, we're likely to come back down, find support, and break back up and start to race to new highs. So that's what I'm seeing on Facebook. Let's have a look at Amazon. What do we see here on Amazon? Again, guys, let's just follow the money. We'll follow the market, follow the moves. Right? What do we see here? We actually see the market. Let's have a look here. Let's open this. Actually, let's squeeze this up a little bit more. And you can see what's happening here, right? We're definitely rolling out. We're getting a lot more weakness now, aren't we? So you can see that we have, what do we have here? We have support, support, support. We have this support. And now it's high trough. Now we made this low trough through here. So that's actually showing a lot more weakness now on Amazon. And you can see here, guys, as well too. You can see how that we have this lower peak, and now lower peak as well too. And you can see how it's rolling over. Now we're creating this lower peak through here as well too. So you can see that's basically what's happening is higher trough, and then higher trough, and now it's created a lower peak. So we're starting to get a bit more sellers into this. Do we get a little rally up and a little drop down to create another low peak? If so, therefore, we should get some more selling on Amazon. Or do we break back, or do we hold here and break back above 780? If we break back up 780, this is back above the 50, we're likely to come down, find support, and then rally back up, and probably even then close this gap here, which would be a nice little long opportunity. I would think so. Make sense, guys? So that's that one there. What else are we going to look at? Google as well too. Google was actually in a nice bullish flag. As you can see, it actually broke below the bullish flag and then came straight back up and closed at its highest point where we are right now. So do we actually break back above and get a nice little close back above here? If so, we get a nice little break above here. If so, then that to me is Google. To me, if that happens, Google will make new highs for the year. We'll break back above 850, 815, and you can see what's happening through there. So you can see, if I have a look at this here, what do we have here? So we have this peak here, we have this trough, So we have this lower peak, now we have this higher peak. This is now a higher trough at the support level. If we actually get a nice little break back above here, we get a nice little close, then we're likely to start the race to all-time new highs, probably getting above that 1815, 1860 to new highs as well too. So that'll be a nice little opportunity. A one-to-one projection on this move is where I would expect this to at least go to. All right, off the screen. There we go. So a one-to-one projection, where is that? On a one-to-one basis, so I wouldn't expect a nice move, a break above. If this does break out, I would expect to move back up to 840. So that is about, let's have a look at this here. So from there to there, that's about a 6 or 7% move. If we do get a break above here, guys, I'm probably going to buy way out of the money options. So I'm probably going to buy, so I would say about 10 or so % out of the money options. And you can see that's basically what I'm looking at there. So but again, guys, this is just my rough estimate. I'll be seeing what I'll be doing there. Again, guys, if you do take any recommendations here, make sure you're risking really small amount of money on your account. You know, we're talking 0.5%, 1%. The lower the risk, the better on every single one of your trades. What else? What else am I missing here? Apple. Let's have a quick look at Apple. And Apple, you can see just slowly stepping up, right? It came down, found this support, ran back up. Now we're finding another support. Do we get another? Is this just a continuation move? We did almost break a new high here, and so you can see, if I bring this up here, you can see we have this overall resistance through here. We're getting this nice triangle pushing up through here. We've got this nice running up. So we have this peak through here. We have this trough through here. We have this basically equal peak through here, and we have this trough through here. If we do, guys, if we do get a nice open here and a nice good solid close back above, like we get a nice good solid breakout through there with really good volume, that to me is a nice breakout entry, and I would expect to see a nice move up from there. You can see this resistance here, resistance, 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 and if we do get break above here, especially this nice little high trough before a breakout, that could be very, very powerful. I'll show you. So I wanted to share this trade with you. I did this trade back in October, late October, and it's very, very similar to what you were just seeing on there. And I just wanted to go dig this up to show you what I see about the triangle patterns, and when they work really well. So you can see here that it was on this big breakout here. Remember I said before, wait for the, well, I'm basically saying before with Apple, right? The market breaks down, finds a little trough, and then breaks back out, and we get a nice little breakout with good volume. You can see here, right, big towering volume. Well, this is the day that I got into it, okay? And as I said here, nice blast off trade. And I think off is 2 Fs. I didn't give an F. Spelling is not my number one thing, but viewing these charts, that's what I'm good at. So I'll keep doing that. So, and I actually, when this happened, I actually bought, I think it was 3 months, way out of the money. We're talking again, way out of the money. And as you can see, this was the day that I got into, and this is basically what happened ever since over the last couple of months. So you can see when the market broke there, it actually came down, held support there, and then the market just took off, as you can see, up through there. So that was a really nice trade for me. I bought about 10 or so percent, just above 10%, I think it was, out of the money at that time. I think it was around a $50. Yeah, around $50 option that I bought, and as you can see, within basically a month it ran straight to there. I got out, and that was a really nice profit. About 2 or 3 months worth of time frame on there. So as you can see, the market's breaking back down now. Looks like we might get a nice little bounce off here. But I just wanted to share that with you guys, because as the exact same there with Apple, as you can see, the exact same thing here is looking like that it's forming on the same thing with Apple. So what I want to do is I want to put that in all my stocks list, because that's something I just recognize, and I think it'll be a nice little cool trade. If we do break above there, then we can probably see new highs for 2016, and probably back, if that does happen, then we may even get a nice break back above up to possibly even back up to up to the highs here. So if that does happen there, guys, once again, I'll probably buy way out of the money options. I like doing that. Again, 1% of my account, I'll probably buy 10 or so percent out of the money. So I'd probably buy up the top here, maybe even way up the top here somewhere. So if we do get a nice little breakout here somewhere, and we get a nice little break above there, probably the $130 mark option, I like that. Maybe even a bit higher. Again, 1% risk on my trade, maybe 3 months with a time frame. If we do get a pretty big run up through there, then again, guys, that's where the money is for me. So maybe even 130 option will be best for me, because I can see if that does happen, we can see a nice little strong move out of there. Let's go have a look at this weekly chart just quickly here. I'm doing my analysis live on the spot now for you guys. Interesting. We've got a little short-term resistance around that 123, but we break that, we'll probably race to new highs. So really interesting. So anyway, guys, bit of a longer term market update today, guys. That's the way I'm going to try to keep it. Maybe show you some stocks I'm looking at, look at some ETFs. Let's have a quick look at the UUP as well too, which is the US dollar. Big gap up, big sort of big gap up, and actually a nice gap there as well too. And we'll see what happens with there. US dollar is continuing looking really strong. The FXA, which is the Australian dollar, looking really weak. And remember I said before, guys, about the peaks and troughs, right? As you can see, when it gets into this triangle pattern, we had a peak, a higher trough. We had this high peak, came straight back down, ran back up. You can see now it's below my moving averages. This was a low peak, and then we got a hammering down through there. So as you can see, we're definitely rolling over on this FXA chart, which is really interesting to see. And yeah, basically, as you can see, that's basically what's happening through there. So let's actually see if there's anything else on my mind right now. No, there we go, guys. That's enough for me today. I hope you enjoyed this and I will see you next. Hey, thanks for watching. If you'd like to get more free education about trading, then click on the box that says free trading course. This is a free trading course. It goes for around 12 hours long. It's about 12 videos long. Covers everything from chart reading, mindset, trading systems, money management, trade management, everything you need to get yourself ahead in the markets. And if you'd like to get my help personally, then click on the box that says Get John's Help, and you'll be able to see how you can get my help personally. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.